Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning everyone and welcome to Lab Talks Virtual Laboratory Induction. Let me introduce myself. My name is Sabili Bahardun Lopa and I will become Master of Ceremony for today's event. Maybe some of you, or even all of you, still don't know yet what Lab Talk is. Well, Lab Talk is a webinar event where we are going to talk about our laboratory information in our lovely campus, Sampurna University. This event is made due to the current condition where the existence of COVID-19 has made students to have an online class. Consequently, the student could not utilize the facility that offline class can do, especially for lab. So this event will provide us a lot of information related to lab name, location, facility, purposes, and permission to procedure to use the laboratory. Little spoiler, we will have 9 awesome speakers that will deliver information about lab that Sampurna University have. So let me introduce them one by one. First, we have Mr. Fikri, who will talk about IoT, physics, and computer lab. Next, we have Mr. Wandi, who will talk about networking lab. After that, we have Mr. Arya. Mr. Arya will explain about Creativity Center Lab and Future Studio. Miss Jane will talk about smart production and supply chain lab. Miss Nurul will talk about ergonomic lab. Mr. Farid will talk about machine shop. Mr. Harjan will talk about mechanical engineering lab. Mr. Budi will talk about mechatronics lab. And last, we have Mr. Iwan who will talk about chemistry lab. Before we go into presentation, we will hear welcoming speech from our faculty dean, Mr. Surya dan Saputro Liman. For Mr. Surya, time is yours.
Thank you, Mr. MC. Good morning to everybody. I don't have a prepared speech, so I'm just going to talk from my heart. First of all, good morning. I would like to welcome each and every one of you to this talk about our facilities, our lab. On behalf of Sampurna University, the Faculty of Engineering and Technology, as well as the 5 study programs, namely computer science, industrial engineering, information systems, mechanical engineering, and visual communication design. We wish you a pleasant stay here at Sampurna. You are now a part of our family. And I want all of you to be proud of where you are right now, as I am very proud to be the Dean of the Faculty of Engineering and Technology. My name is Surya Liman. I was in fact at Sampurna about a little over 4 years ago. I left Sampurna for another position, and then I decided to come back because I know Sampurna has done such a tremendous job in promoting education in Indonesia. So you are now in the right place. I can safely say that we have the best, if not the best, at least one of the best faculty members in each of the study programs, as well as you will see in a little bit that we also have world-class laboratory facilities that basically can compete with any other universities in Indonesia. You will see that our facility is actually developed based on the facilities that are available at top-notch university in the US. So unfortunately, because of the current pandemic situation, some of you, especially those who just joined us, cohort 2020 and 2021, will not be able to see the lab in person, at least not now. Hopefully, this pandemic situation will end next semester, where we can welcome you in person to our campus to see our facilities. Okay. So I just want to make sure that you all understand that you are now a part of the Sampurna family. Your well-being, physical, mental, emotional, they are all our concern. We are here for you. We are here to provide you with the best education possible in Indonesia. So be proud, pat yourself on the back that you have chosen the right place to be. And what we want to do is when you get out of Sampurna University, graduate with a degree, you will be able to meet the challenges of the future. You will be able to integrate with the community. You will be ready to contribute to society and to your country. So with that, I'm going to end my speech. I don't want it to be a long-winded speech. I just want to open this lab talks for everybody. Enjoy, watch what we have to offer. And so when the time comes, we'll be able to get together. Even right now, I'm not in Indonesia yet. I'm not able to get into Indonesia. I'm waiting every day for the chance to actually be there in person. But I'm sure that soon we will overcome this problem that we have. This is not just Indonesian problem, it's actually a global problem. And then we will be able to get together, and I will be able to welcome you in person when the time comes. Okay, so everybody just sit back, relax, and enjoy the talks given by our faculty, one of the best in Indonesia. Welcome again. Thank you. And I'm going to give the time back to our MC.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Surya, for the speech. Next, we will have a welcoming speech from our project officer. For Joharul Arifin, time is yours.
Okay, good morning, everyone. Hello, I am Joharul Arifin, or you can call me Joe from BEM KMFVT. I signed here to organize this event with our team from BEM KMFVT. First of all, I would like to say a big thank you to Mr. Liman for coming to this event and give welcoming speech. And then all lecturer as a speaker who join and will share information about lab to this event. And also for the participant who already joined to this event. Hope you guys, especially cohort 2020, will get a lot of insights, information for today events, including our lab information from its study program, its purpose, its facility, lab project, and also the permission procedure to use the laboratory. Okay, the last from me, but not least, please enjoy this event. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Joharul, for the speech. Oh, before we start, did I already mention you about our tagline? So, our event will have tagline. When I say laptop, you guys answer experience laboratory for great technology. Did you already get it? You can answer. You can turn your microphone first, of course.
Yes, yes.
When I say laptops, you guys answer it experience laboratory for great technology.
It's quite a mouthful.
Yes, I know. Okay, let's just try it, yeah? You can open your microphone first.
Okay.
So,
All right.
laptops,
Experience
Laboratory
for
for
great
great
technology.
technology.
Let me try once again, yeah,
Yeah.
since
Okay.
yeah, we just rush each other. Laptops,
Experience
laboratory
for great
Great
technology.
technology.
Awesome, awesome.
Yay.
Applause for us. Nice. Thank you so much for the spirit. So let's move into our next agenda. We will watch an introduction video about our laboratory that Sampurna University have. So please enjoy the video. Okay, after watch the video, maybe you will get a little knowledge about our lab, isn't it? But I think it's not enough yet. That's why we have awesome speaker today. So before we start, uh, for first session, we will have presentation from Computer Science and Information System Lab. This session will presented by Mr. Fikri first and continue by Mr. Wandi. But before that, please turn on your camera and mute your microphone so the speaker know you watched their presentation. Mr. Fikri will explain about IoT, physics, and computer lab. For Mr. Fikri, time is yours.
Okay, thank you, Mr. MC. So, hello everyone. Good morning.
Good morning,
Now,
Pak Fikri. Pak Fikri,
okay.
can I share real quick? Everybody,
Yes, yes.
I have to leave. I have to go. I have some other appointment that I need to attend to.
Okay,
So
sure.
I apologize for not being able to stay for the entire duration of the talk. Okay, I wish you all the best. So I'm going to take a leave of for myself. Okay, permisi duluan. Saya masih ada
Yes.
urusan lain. Ya, terima kasih.
Thank you, Pak.
Thank you, Pak
Terima kasih.
Chandra.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Okay, guys. Now it's my turn to deliver about the IoT and Physics Lab. So please watch this presentation. So I would like to deliver about IoT and Physics Lab. My name is Muhammad Roshan Fikri from Information System. So first of all, okay. Okay, so what is in IoT lab and physics lab? Actually, as you already seen the video in previous section, you already know about the area of environment of in IoT lab and physics lab. So now I would like to deliver some contents that we have. In physics lab, usually the purpose is for a place to conduct some courses. Okay, so this lab is very tidy and clean rather than the IoT lab. And then some courses that usually used in physics lab is for general physics 1 and 2. And then usually we have electric circuit lab, computer embedded system, and digital system, and etc. So in the physics lab, we have some facilities that you can use for the student and faculty member. We have experimentation tools for physics and other courses. And then we have a projector and screen. If you want to have training for presentation, you can use a physics lab for this purpose. And then we have measurement devices and first aid kit. Okay. And then move to the next one. We have IoT lab. This very 180 degrees difference from physics lab. Is not very tidy and clean because usually the IoT lab purpose is for a place to conduct research and development activities. So usually if you are have a lot, maybe a lot of idea, you can share and come to our IoT lab and then we will discuss. And usually in IoT lab, we conduct some research related to robotics and control systems. And then we also develop the IoT-based intelligent devices. And then related to machine learning. And then also we not only have hardware research, but we also have the theoretical research, which is related to dynamical system theoretic. And here in IoT lab, we also have some facilities. Is measurement devices and then 3D printers for you to develop your own tools. And then we have microcontrollers and single board computers for lab and class or even for research development. We also have robots, is drone and then ground vehicle robots. And also we have electronic components such as resistor, capacitor, and etc. And then here I mentioned about the chairs and tables because if you can see in the figure here, we are maybe not having so much chairs and table in here. So I would like to say that we have chairs and table for the facilities. So you will not afraid if you come to IoT lab and then you will not confuse where you will sit in. Okay, So this is interesting research that available in IoT and Physics Lab. In case of you are interested to join us, we have machine learning self-driving robots. As you can see in the video, this is a typical example that your senior have conduct machine learning self-driving robots. But maybe during this pandemic, we cannot continue because this experiment need or require us to come to the lab. And then another research that available in IoT lab, like 3D gas source localization using drone, or we can say as micro quadcopters. In here, this is the trajectory result for 3D searching localization of the gas source. We use a MATLAB for this data visualization and trajectory mapping. And then for the theoretical thing, research in the IoT lab, we have a multi-agent system swarm simulation. In this video, you can see like there are a number of robots, and or we can say this is agent. And then it is a rendezvous in the one point, and then after that, after it meets a certain position, then we can move the robot to another position. So this one is require you to have like a basic mathematics and also maybe like computer programming. If you are interested and want to join us, do not hesitate to come to IoT Lab. And then beside those three research, we also have other topics such as rocket propulsion, and we have a vehicle dynamics system research, agentarium for multi-agent system, and autonomous UV disinfection robots. Okay, and then this is maybe the last for the introduction of IoT and Physics Lab. We have a faculty member that lead this lab. And in the left side, this is me as the coordinator of IoT Lab, and then this is my research interest. And we have Pak Jati from mechanical engineering, and here is research interest. And also we have an associate research member, which is Pak Idrus. His major research is based on the physics theoretic. So if you have interest in black hole thermodynamics and quantum gravity, you can come and join us to learn about physical phenomena in theoretical thing. And then here, so far the student member that already joined us either in the capstone project or in the research project. Okay, this is the last student member. Okay, so far IoT Lab and Physics Lab have achieved like for the research, we have like 5 journals so far, and then 9 international conference. This is what we have during this 20 and 20. And then I would like to welcome you and join us and be a part of our next achievement. If you are interested to join, please contact me or contact Pak Jati. Thank you very much for your attention, guys. Okay, Mr. MC, I give back to you again.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Fikri, for the presentation. If you guys have a question, you can raise it in chat box, and we will read it when the Q&A time has come. So don't forget to raise it on the chat box so we can read it. And yeah. So next, we will have a presentation from Mr. Wandi. Mr. Wandi will explain us about networking lab. So for Mr. Wandi, time is yours.
Okay, thank you so much, Billy. I guess I have my presentations with the committee already. Would you mind please help to show it? Okay, thank you so much, everyone. Good morning. Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Wandi, and thank you for the opportunities. I'm about to inform you guys about the computer networking lab. Okay, and then let's. Next slide, please. Okay, so actually the objective for this lab is to So the students are able to take and interact with the actual computer networks peripherals after having a sufficient knowledge on simulators actually, because most of the networks actually we learn previously based on simulators, and then after that, if we have enough knowledge, then we continue with the real items. Next, also students are able to understand wired and wireless network configurations. And then number 3 is students have experience to implement actual network topology. And then number 4, students have experience to configure network security. And the last one is students have experience solving computer networks case studies. So that's the objective of having this computer networking lab. Would you mind please help with the next slide? Thank you. So what we have in the lab, actually we have 3 racks of cabinets. One is the server cabinets and 2 is the networking cabinets. We have 2 servers at the moment. It's a rack servers, one already mounted on the rack. And we also have one more, it belongs to the IoT, plan to mount it on the rack soon when the pandemic is over. And then after that, we have 2 Cisco 2960 switches. This is for networks distributions. We also have 2 Cisco 4200 series routers. This is also for routing network and security configurations. And then we have 2 access points for playing around with wireless networks. This can also have its own internet connections with SIM cards. And then we have a box of cables and connectors. So you can exercise with the creating network cables. And then we also have patch panels. We have crimping tools with the scissors and tools like that. And then the last, we have the network testers to check the network cables we created. I mean, are they good or not? So yes, thank you. So we have physical activities. Some of the physical activities in the lab, they are, of course, we crimp cables to its connectors. It's mandatory actually. And we also do the test the cables, of course. Once after we do the crimp, we configure and punch wires to patch panels, and we correctly do cabling, wiring, and cable tagging. Yep, thank you. We also do logical activities. We're not just do physicals. We also do logicals where they are. We route networks from external to internal using NAT or network address translations. After that, we configure LAN by using VLAN or virtual LAN. We can prioritize network, limit networks, and etc. We also configure firewall, network security from external threat. And then we also do network management. For example, computer in the office cannot access social media during office hours, or in banking, staffs under management level unable to access internet using office networks because of security reasons, somewhere like that. So we do network management as well. And next, yes, this is one also. Then we do network simulations. In this lab, we will also do network simulations with the helps of applications we have. It's a Cisco Packet Tracers and GNS3 graphical network simulator. And we will do network simulation to first count number of network peripherals users or need to be invested before implementations. And then after that, we define network services used in the office. And the last is to count power consumptions and to provide power backup solutions. This is what you see in the figures. Actually, it's a simulations. If we have two places, sorry. So we have, in here, let's say we have office in Jakarta and we have factory in Subang, where Subang is about 129 kilometers away from Jakarta. These 2 places are connected through an internet connections. And these 2 places, each of them has server for storing data, have desk phones, and then in the office, they can also do simulations for using BYOD or bring your own devices, and also have printers. And in the factory also, in these simulations, we also have blower fan, carbon dioxide alarm, and wind turbine. The idea of this simulator is whatever machines in the factories can be remotely done or capture the data from the office. So we would do that. We would do the security. We would do not just grabbing the data, we'll also remote them, activate them or deactivate them, or we can do audio call from the office to the factories, all using the internet connections. Even we can also send emails to each other or read the data from the servers. So we would, by using the servers and peripherals we have, network peripherals we have, we are able to do simulations like this. So next is, thank you, courses. Currently, we have two courses that are using these facilities. First is the computers, 3309 is a computer networks and data communications. And the other one is COM 4320 is a computer system administrator. But actually, this lab is also open for other courses from other study programs, those related to these network laboratories. And this lab actually can also be used for remoting smart manufacture, perhaps from other places, or for information system to implement e-commerce system network simulations. Okay, next. Soon. Soon we will have one full rack cabinets of 18 servers that can be used by students and lecturers. Students can work directly with their server hardware. Students can play around with this, installing and configuring Linux servers or other operating systems. Students can also playing around with configuring RAID hard drive, perhaps, and configure machine failover if primary system down, and then the backup machines will run to support. And then after that, students can also play around with many operating systems. But for lecturers can also use these machines to do research and developments for storing the data, analyze data, and do machine learnings, because it has sufficient memory, sufficient processors, and also sufficient, of course, sufficient machines. We have a lot, right? And then lecturers can also system developments and some more. I guess that's all from my end, right? And it's going back to you, Billy. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Wandi. So yeah, I also take computer network and I forget the name, and I'm so sad because of pandemic situation. I can't use the lab yet. So yeah, hope this condition will go away. So if you have a question, you can raise it in chat box, guys. Don't worry. I will read it, and Mr. Wandi or Mr. Fikri will answer it for you. So yeah, thank you, Daniel. So is there any question? You can just raise it in chat box. Okay, Daniel Stephen want ask Mr. Fikri. Mr. Fikri, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Yeah, Daniel Stephen, please raise your question and I will read it to Mr. Fikri. Let's wait a moment, sir, since Daniel. Oh, I have a question to Loh. It's from another person. We wait for Daniel first, yeah. Sorry, Gir. Okay, Daniel, still typing, I think. Daniel, are you typing or not? We don't know. Sir Fikri, from the video that I watched, it's more into machine learning stuff. I never managed to see the rocket propulsion stuff. Still cannot imagine though. So the question is,
The question is, what your question, Daniel?
yeah, I'm also confused here, Daniel. You can, okay, just open your microphone and ask to Mr. Fikri. Yes, I know, Sabar.
I think I'm gonna open my mic instead because it's hard to put
Okay.
in the words. Sir Fikri, I think from the project that from the presentation that I watched in before, it's like IoT lab is actually more into like something that we do in programming, like apa ya, from what I see, it's actually like a machine learning stuff that we can on the car where we can actually track see the where the machine actually can see the route and it just like automated driving. I'm more into like from what I see before, it's actually I heard about rocket propulsion in the IoT lab presentation. Can we actually how actually like the rocket propulsion is done? Is it actually like done in the lab itself or it's done in other labs? In the labs beside like in the physics labs? Because what I heard, rocket propulsion is more into like physics stuff gitu. I think that's all from me. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Daniel, for your questions. Actually, for the rocket propulsion, it's expertise from Mr. Jati. And then currently, we have a rocket propulsion study or investigation still based on the theoretical thing. So we like developing the mathematical model for the rocket, and then the propulsion and the navigation for it. So for now, we still don't have any data yet to show to you, but maybe in future we can show it to you. And then yeah, actually the rocket propulsion cannot be seen the video here because of we currently investigate it.
Is it answer your question, Daniel?
Maybe no.
Okay, let's assume Daniel already got the answer, yeah? Okay, please. It's okay. Since we still talk about Mr. Fikri, I want to read the question to Mr. Fikri, another one. I want to ask to Mr. Fikri, if I don't have any basic knowledge about robotic things, can I learn it in IoT lab? And are there mentors or module regarding to the robotic materials? So, sir?
Okay, thank you, Akbar, for your question. Of course, you can. You can join us even you don't have any basic knowledge about robotics and stuff about IoT. As long as you have motivation to learn about that for the basic programming, a mathematical thing about robotics, yeah, you can sure join and come to IoT lab and physics. And of course, there will be a mentor if it is Mr. Jati or even from me. And then the module, yeah, we will give it to you. Usually the module will based on the research paper or the textbook related to robotics. That's all. I hope it answers your question, Akbar.
Yeah, I hope so.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, so next we have question for Mr. Wandi from Gary Ananta. I have a question for Mr. Wandi. Can we, as IE students, use networking lab as well? As it is mentioned that the courses that use networking lab is mostly for computer science students. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Yeah, sure. Everyone can use also the networking lab, including the IE students. When the lab is free, actually, you are able to come and let us know actually your interest and project. So we will happy to help. Well, yes, at the moment, even CS actually, even computer science students not yet utilize it since the lab is just developed mid last year. So again, I would like to emphasize that the lab is open for everyone. Just reach me or Pa Agni if you want to use it or if you have similar topics. Because actually, it's wide. Actually, the topic is quite wide enough. Everything, I mean, all the machines are connected to the networks. And then I know there are so many projects that we can raise together, actually. Hoping that answering your questions, Gary.
Okay, thank you, sir. Another question from Savannah. Sir, I have a question. Are there
Yes.
any project example that may need to use networking lab?
Okay, can you give specific, is it for IE or CS or ME or, I don't know?
I
Very
think any
specific.
projects are the project example that can use networking lab, isn't it? So,
Oh, okay, sure. One of them, the project can be a security. We can configure the firewalls, how to make our networks defended very well. That's the first. Second, the project can also for the office, actually. Many offices needs the network configurations, good network configurations. Projects means that the projects from the industry, you can do that. And the third, probably this may related to the IE or ME. We can remote actually and grab data from the RFID from the factories and grab the data to our servers in different office, in different locations as well. So you can do that as your projects. Probably this may lead to the smart manufacturing lab. I don't know. We will talk about this also with Pujen and with Pujen perhaps. There are so many projects working on the lab because for your information that I assume that most of the, even not just the program, I mean, most of the applications of the IoT requires networks, right? So it's open. I'm assuming that the projects could be big also because we have sufficient machines. Well, yeah, we have a lot actually projects if you want to use our machines, I mean, our existing machines. Is there anything else regarding to this? Hoping that it's answering your questions.
Yeah, I think it's quite clear and explained also.
Okay.
So thank you so much for the question. Thank you so much, Mr. Wandi and Mr. Fikri, for explaining us about a lab that computer science and information system have. Yeah, sorry, information system. So let's move to the next. We have Faculty of Visual Communication Design Laboratory that will explained by Mr. Arya. Mr. Arya will explain about Creativity Center Lab and Future Studio. For Mr. Arya, time is yours.
Okay, let me prepare this. Okay, so can you guys see my screen?
Yes, sir.
Okay, cool. All right, good morning, everyone. So my name is Arya, and what is it, my presentation? Oh, my name is Arya, and I'm a visual communication design lecturer and the lab manager as well, or lab coordinator. I have 5+ years experience in the industry, and I was also, just like Pak Fikri, the scholarship awardee from LPDP, and my research interest in virtual reality, ambisonics, creative coding, and interaction design. Okay, so before I start explaining about the lab, I would like to show you a video. Hopefully I'm sharing this correctly. Let me check again. Share computer sharing, yeah, okay. Let's see. Okay, so you guys can check the complete work of our current students at iterationnext.id. Okay, if you're not sure how to write it, you can just Google it. All right, so I'm gonna start to introduce our lab by uh, explaining how many labs that we have. So we have two labs. Actually, it's a two-in-one lab. So Creativity Center 1 and 2. And we have Future Studio, which is divided into two parts as well, which is this green screen and the mocap area. Mocap is a short word for motion capture. All right, so as you can see here, this is already shown by the committee as well. This is the lab 2, actually. And if we move really quick to the lab 1 here, right? So this picture, it was taken I think 3 years ago, and today, well, it's still the same. And this is very famous amongst the students that they call this Kabun Apple, right? So probably you know the reason behind that. That nickname is because we use Apple computers in this labs. All right, let's move on. Okay, so what do we have in our lab? So we installed Adobe Creative Cloud, which inside of it includes Photoshop, After Effects, and Experience Design. And InDesign, we have Animate, and so on and so forth. So it may have looked just like one logo in this presentation, but it actually has a lot of things. So why do we install this? Because this is the creative industry standard, right? So it's mandatory for you to know how to operate Adobe Creative Cloud. And the second one is Blender for producing 3D. Now let me explain. Previously we used Autodesk Maya, and now we move on to Blender. We consider a lot of good things with Blender. First of all, during this pandemic, Blender, it's free to download, free to update. It's basically an open source, right? So a lot of free plugins inside of it as well. And secondly, it is highly accurate real scale world modeling. And third, and lastly, it is people use this quite a lot to model 3D printed objects, right? And then the third one is mandatory because we are visual communication design in new media. Processing is a really good way to start of understanding the general or the fundamental of new media itself. So processing is a Java script-based language program that is very flexible, is very versatile, that we can use it for huge installation to really small projection mapping. And next one is Unity. Unity is a game development program. So again, why we learn in processing, because basically C# programming and JavaScript it's same but different in a way. So it's a continuity from learning a basic programming in processing and then continue to C# language. And also on the bottom here, the first one on the bottom is Visual Studio Code. So we code things that we do for game designing in Visual Studio Code. Visual Studio Code is a code editor that we use for HTML and CSS for web development as well. And then next one is DaVinci Resolve. Again, this is the consideration of the pandemic situation. DaVinci Resolve is a video editing and video color grading program that you can download for free, right? You be able to use full features of it, right? So let's say if you're saying that, oh, I don't have Adobe Premiere because it's subscription based, it's too expensive for me. You can download DaVinci Resolve, and then you get basically the same thing, right? The same quality. And then the last one is Ultimaker Cura. Ultimaker Cura is something to set up your 3D printing objects before it's being transported to the 3D printed machine. Right, so those are the softwares that we installed on those computers. And then on the right-hand side, we have a bunch of Wacom tablet and graphic pen. So during this pandemic, we are not actually lending out some of these graphic pens and tablets, but there are a few of a cheaper alternative to it, like Huion and this other one, it's Pixel Pen, I think. So I think it's worth looking for you guys who want to try to adapt yourself using graphic pens, because it's going to be useful when it comes to, let's say, sculpting in the 3D modeling environment. Okay, so these are the printers and plotters that we have in our Creativity Center 1. We use these usually for students who are, if it's a pandemic, they would require to print out their presentation, and then basically why printing out those presentations where you can present it on the projector. It is, in the industry, you are required to print all those materials out, and you go out shooting on the field, right? You'll not be able to project anything on the field. You just need to print out everything. And we use our plotters here to print out some of the students' works for our exhibition. Again, we are this year we're currently having online exhibition, so we don't actually use this as much this past few months. So again, lastly, the difference between printer and plotter. Plotter is to print bigger size, basically for architectural stuff, but we use it for in design as well. It's a A1 to A2 size papers. Okay, so next one, we have a 3D printer. The first one on the left-hand side is Anycubic i3 Mega. So we have one of this. And then the middle one, we don't actually use this anymore because it's quite problematic. It's really, it's not the best to reading memory cards. So we're planning to not using this anymore. And in the future, we're going to share a new resin-based 3D printer here, right? It's called Form 3. Right, so both of these now are actually located in LG. So we share these equipments with mechanical engineering as well, which is good because they have a really good resource to taking care of these machines. Okay, so this one here is our green screen and mocap area. So basically this is a different from, it's basically on the neighbor of the Creativity Center, right? So it's divided into two parts, the green screen area, of course, on that side, and the other one is the opposite side. So if we continue this, like this one here. So the mocap area has a lot of infrared cameras surrounded this area here. Right, and as of for the green screen area, so if we have a look, we have also rigs here that, in the high-end production setup, that we can actually hang a lot of lighting here, pointed to a subject or whatever is inside of the frame in the green screen area. All right, so these are some of the documentation, how our students use the green screen area here. So you can check their work. They actually graduated this year. So you can check their work in iterationnext.id. Okay. Okay, let's go to the next slide. And this is the mocap area. We have not yet used this mocap area. I hope in the future that we can use this for our animation and motion graphics module, right? So we can actually record human movements, and then we can export this as data points that we can import it to Blender to animate whatever 3D model we have in there. And this is how we suit up our model. Okay, so next one, we have three old but good generation of Canon cameras. This is very popular right now amongst the divisions who trying to create online video learning materials, right? So it's old, but it's still good, and it's a really good build of camera. And then we have a broadcast and live stream set. We currently just acquired this. So basically we can output and input all of these cameras here and put it out and then input to the laptop. So we can actually do multicam by just using our laptop or computer. And then we have 360 cameras. We have the old Samsung 360 as well. The 360 is quite good for beginner level, but it's not a very good quality when it comes to the outdoor or if it's heavily lighted, heavily lit area. And the second one, this is a newly acquired new member to the 360 camera family in the visual communication design. So it's called Insta360 1R Twin. Twin meaning that we have two different sets of camera, 360 and the action camera here. The good thing and why we acquired this camera is because it has a very, if not the best, stabilization components built inside of this. So it's the best one yet. And next one is the old GoPro Karma set. We have not used this because in the middle of around Pancoran, it's really hard to find a really good spot to actually try this. So maybe in the future, if the pandemic is over, if you're willing to test this out, please just come to the lab and I will lend you this GoPro Karma and maybe share your experience to me. And then we have a very good amount of lighting system, right? The first one, this is the industry standard, so KinoFlow lighting systems. So any video production site or any video production house company, they have or they are using KinoFlow lighting systems. And we have the standard diffuse lighting or softbox, and we have reflectors as well. So basically to reflect sunlight. And then we have the new audio sets of audio system. We have the Zoom H4n Pro. This is also industry standard. And then we have the clip-on mic. So we can actually plug this in to this tool here to Zoom. And also we have this one here. If we have longer cables, we can actually use this cable and then just plug it here and then put it there. All right, so basically all of this audio video production set is fairly modular. Okay, and this one here, I guess this is the coolest out of the rest. This is the podcast or audio recording setup, right? And we are planning to get more microphones and get more sound card in the future, right? Because a lot of our students and our faculty members are looking forward to use this one to create podcasts. Okay, so those are our equipment that we have in our lab, and these are the safety and regulations. So when the time comes and you are entering the lab, please be aware and find these safety and regulations on the walls, right? So please read it carefully. And yep, there's a QR code as well here. So in case you want to book a studio or you want to book an equipment, just scan the QR code there. And these are the COVID-19 lab regulations, right? So we pretty much the same thing, but a few things here. that we this applies to any other faculty students or faculty members as well when it comes to lab regulations. So yes, and visual communication who was designing this lab regulation. Woo! Okay, that's it from me. Thank you very much, and I'll be waiting for your questions. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Arya, for the
Thanks.
presentation. Actually, I have a question.
Sure.
Let me ask first, before I read the question from
Sure.
others. Since I see Unity and Visual Studio, can we, me, computer science student, use the Creativity Center? How about the permission procedure to use the laboratory? Since
Okay, so usually we letting the students know to go ahead and look for the form, the QR code, scan the QR code, and you will see the requirements that you need to fill in, right? Some of the important things are um, who are the lecturers and what module are you needing this lab or equipment for, right? And then what project. Okay, as simple as that. So anyone can use it as long as you provide some details to that form, and then I will confirm with the lecturer themselves.
so it's only for uh pro what is it called? University project purposes only, sir.
Yep.
Okay. Let me read the question then.
Sure.
Let me choose first. I'm from computer science. Yeah, I already asked it. Sorry, Gio. I have a question.
Okay, the same
Arya,
thing. Yeah.
Yeah. This. Maybe you can answer it. I have a question to Mr. Arya. If we want to participate in movie contest, then we need the green screen or computer there. Can we borrow it, sir? If may, how the procedure? Thank you.
Okay, so we have not had this situation before, but I guess similar situation have occurred. For example, if you want to use our equipment for external activities, I would require you to contact student affairs and alumni and let them email me. So in the future, the students, when I'm well informed by the SAA, the students can directly contact me, and then I will get them the form to fill out.
Okay, so if you want use the creativity what? Sorry, I forgot.
Creativity Center.
Creativity Center and Green Screen Room. You can first email SAA first. After that, let Mr. Arya know. Okay. Yep. For external use, but for internal use, like project with lecturer, you just scan the barcode and put your lecturer name there, isn't it, sir?
Yep. Yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
From Jeva, Mr. Arya, if there any procedure for use to go through to use the 3D printer, the procedure to use 3D printer, sir.
Okay. The procedure. If this is your first time using the 3D printer, I would recommend you to let me know, and I will let you know how to set up for 3D printing. Right. But since it is located in LG now, the 3D printing, the procedure would be filling out the form, and I will get permission from the lab manager in LG. All right, but if this is your first time, then I will, if you are planning to, and the pandemic is over, and you are allowed to go to the campus, then I would happily set up a time to teach you how to use the 3D computer, the 3D printer.
Okay. The procedure is still same, so yes, sir.
It's still the same. Yep.
Just fill the link and let Mr. Arya know. Any question? Any more question? Maybe since from Lazuardi is the same with me, I think.
Yeah, it's the same.
No? If there is no,
Yeah, I think everyone has the same
yeah,
question. Yeah, can
yeah.
we use this equipment
Can
because it's quite
other,
popular?
yeah,
Yeah, our equipment is highly used by different study program as well. So during this pandemic, it's quite popular actually because the camera, the microphones, the lighting is just the essentials of producing online materials. So please do let me know if you really need the equipment even during this pandemic, but it has to get through to student affairs, and I let them decide whether or not you guys are permitted to come to the campus, and let me lend you a set of equipment.
okay. One more question from me, sir. Where
Okay.
can we get the barcode, the QR code?
The QR code, you can, if you're not on campus, then I will actually, you can just email me and I will give you the link to the form itself.
Okay, okay, okay. So just email you and ask for the QR code. Okay,
Yep.
thank you, sir.
No
Thank you so
problem. There
much,
is no
Mr.
more
Arya.
question.
Okay, oh, from Sachio, another question. Can organization borrow camera, microphone, and etc. from PCD Lab, sir?
Yeah, yes, you can. As long as it's through student affairs, then I will get you the permission to borrow those camera.
Okay, so student affairs first here.
Yeah.
Okay. Is there any question? I think no. Yeah.
That's good.
Okay.
All
Thank
right.
you so much, Mr. Arya, for the presentation.
Thank you very much. Thank you very
Thank you
much for
very
the
much for your
opportunity.
time also. So we just next into our next presenter. Next will be in industrial engineering lab presentation. This presentation will explained by Miss Jane. Miss Jane will talk about smart production and supply chain lab, and Miss Nurul, we will talk about ergonomic lab. But first, I think I can see you didn't open your camera yet. So please open your camera first. And don't forget to raise your question in chat box, especially for cohort 2020, since yeah, it's new for you. I think yeah, you must ask lah. Okay, so we will hear a presentation from Miss Jen. For Miss Jen, time is yours.
Thank you, Billy, for the time. And hello, everyone. Good morning. For the freshmen, I would like to say welcome to the Sampurna University family. And today I'm going to present about the youngest lab in FET faculty. And the name is Smart Production and Supply Chain. Well, as I mentioned before, like this is the youngest one because we just established like a while ago, like in July this year to be exact. So actually we haven't done so much activities yet. So let's see what I can present to you today. And first of all, oh sorry. Okay, so first of all, I would like you to meet the team. So yes, my name is Jenny. So I'm the head of Smart Production and Supply Chain Lab. I have research interest in production, halal logistic, risk management, especially during this pandemic. Like the topic became so popular, and also perishable supply chain. So for those of you who wondering what perishable supply chain is, that's basically like the flow of the production that have limited shelf life. For example, like food, because we have to deal with expiration date or something like that. And I'm not working alone because I have my colleague with me. Her name is Miss Uchi, and she also has interest in supply chain. But not only that, because she also put her interest in operation research. Well, that's more about mathematical program, industrial management, something related with the cost production, and also transportation. Okay, so we have three main objectives in smart production and supply chain. Well, actually, I'm quite intimidating with the word smart because we haven't developed a lot of technology yet. But the first thing that we want to have from this lab is to learn about the system, like lean production, scheduling process, and also inventory management, where that's like most of them actually you're going to learn. I mean, like if you are IE students, you're going to learn that from the course in 6th semester named production and supply chain, and also during your senior semester supply chain management. But it doesn't mean that you able to enter the lab if you are already like in the 6th semester. Even if you're a freshman, if you want to come and visit and see the and learn about the production, like you always welcome in the lab. And the second is to learn creating new vehicle design using Lego. So actually, some of the students say that the lab is not like a lab, it's more like a kindergarten because we play a lot of things with Lego. Currently, we only have we have only like 4 types or 4 models of Lego, but I just discovered like from one package, actually, we can get like 6 or even 9 different designs. So you can explore your creativity by using Lego in our lab. And last but not least, we're not only working by our department itself, but also we want to collaborate with other background research, other department, or as we call as interdisciplinary research. So like for example, it has been mentioned before, like with Pawandi, like we're trying to develop some system that we can make like real-time flow of the inventory of our Lego pieces, for example. I also heard that from Pabudi from mechanical engineering department that one of his students tried to develop some like roller conveyor, and in the lab we don't have conveyor lab. And also Pafikri from computer science, I heard that he also designed some kind of like robot that can detect Lego that spread, for example, fall into the floor and we can find, but that robot can help us since the piece of Lego is really, really small. And even for VCD, I don't know, well, probably you can use our Lego as well as your property if you have some kind of like a movie project. So basically, every one of you, like you are so welcome in our lab. Okay, well, some of you probably still confusing what exactly lean production, what is inventory management? Yes, like the word is really specific. So the first is lean production. Basically, we learn about like how to work exactly like in a manufacturing company. So you can imagine like how to work in Toyota or in Mercedes-Benz factory, for example. And in the lab we have workstations, and so it doesn't mean that one person have to responsible to create the Lego, like start from the beginning until the finished one, but we can divide. That's also we learn about the scheduling. So for example, in workstation 1, the person that working on that station is responsible for the framework, and then the second workstation focusing in rear and also in the rear side, and the next responsible for the front side, and the last working station will focusing on the finishing until we have that kind of type. As you can see from your left side is one of the type. And as I mentioned, we have 4 vehicle types at the moment. So we call it as car racing. As you can see, like in the gray one, and also we have airplanes, we have tractors, and Land Rover. So yeah, we have 4. And we have lots of package of Lego, as you can see on the video at the beginning of this session. So from the thing that we currently have in the lab now, we can produce up to 60 vehicles in total. So usually the students, like previously, they were like so excited, and after assembly for like 60 or something, they become exhausting because actually we have like a lot to be assembled. Next is the inventory management. This is basically like how you learn to run the pieces of Lego, or how to run the warehouse. This is basically not the area. I would say in the lab is like the corner when you can manage your inventory, stores the Lego, or sometimes we made a joke like the person that is responsible for the inventory, we call it as penjaga warung. Because if the person that responsible at the workstation need to assemble, for example, one vehicle, they they have to order the piece of Lego from the person that responsible for the inventory management. Because we have 4 types of Legos, or there are a lot of pieces as well. If I'm not mistaken, we have 194 types of Lego. As you can see, they're like very small, and the person who responsible for this area should be a person with high accurate critical thing, because we don't have to miss like any single pieces of the Lego. And that's a lot in total. Approximately we have like 15,000 pieces from that all sets, all 80 sets of Lego, and it divided into 2 different storage, like 2 racks. So, and if you're wondering like how to set the location, how to define which pieces should be located in which rack, for example, well, that's one of the things that you have to learn from the inventory management, is also to learn how to storage the piece of the goods in your warehouse, and also explain the reason why it should be located in that specific place or specific location. Well, because we are the youngest one, so we haven't done so much activities yet. Actually, it's just one. So those are 3 students. They conduct their internship project during last summer semester for approximately 2 months. So like they are the initiator of the lab, because they design the location of the rack, the location of the workstation. They define like how many tasks should be done or should be conducted in one working stations, like how to avoid the delay. And especially Tessa, the girl on the right side, well, for the freshman, probably uh, you know her a bit, because well, she's the committer from the freshman. Yeah, she was responsible for the location for all the storage behind them. So even me, I don't know the location. Only God and Tessa who knows the location, every single pieces of the Lego. Well, but we haven't developed any smart thing, because we only work only for 2 months during summer before, and it's quite impossible to conduct everything online, because yeah, you have to work directly in the lab. So we're waiting for the condition to become better, so we can continue all the things that we want to develop in the lab. But it doesn't mean I don't have any idea what I should do in the lab, except the thing that there will be some interdisciplinary implementation from other study program. But one of the things that I really want to have, so the student can learn in the lab, is I want this lab to have Lego Mindstorm. So this is basically, yes, a Lego, but actually it's just not Lego, because it's actually a robot. And they have like so you will be responsible to assemble the robot or the Lego. And after that, there will be some program, as you can see on the screen here. Actually, there is a program installed in the body of the Lego, and then it will be connected by connected to their system, like some specific Lego software, and then you can design like how the movement of the robots, how they can detect, for example, goods. So, for example, if the Lego they're moving forward and there's some like obstacle in front of them, for example, like box of milk, let's say, and you can set them like, okay, if there's some obstacle, they can detect whether it's by light sensor, color sensor, even temperature, if I'm not mistaken. Well, there are four kind of sensors in total, and then when they can detect, it will not like hit the box of the milk. It will turn either turn left or turn right. So well, so that's the thing, and we still have a lot of idea to be sure, but yeah, still waiting for the better condition to work directly in the lab. So we really hope to see you soon in person. And like I said before, it's open for everyone, not only for IE students, for all the department in FET. Even if you don't have any project, but you're really interested to see like the piece of Lego, the storage system, so you're always welcome in our lab. But with one of the requirement, you have to provide us with at least 4 cups of tea. Because we are 4 person in the lab. No, I'm kidding, guys. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, Miss Jane. If you have a question for Miss Jane and supply chain lab, you can raise it in chat box and I will read it in the Q&A session. So next, we will have Miss Nurul who will talk about ergonomics lab. So Miss Nurul, time is yours.
Okay, hello, good day, everyone. Good morning. First of all, I would like to say thank you because usually I never got invited from the student council for the things like this, and this is such an honor because I'm happy that you know my existence. Okay, and I would like to talk about ergonomics lab, but this is kind of like just what is it? Just a relaxed talk because probably most of you only know this lab like fitness center. So first of all, did you dream of becoming a medical doctor when you were a kid? Because you know, usually little kids when they were asked what will they want to be when they get older or becoming an adult, usually they always say that I want to be a doctor, I want to be a president, I want to be a policeman, I want to be like a teacher. But I think most of the kids never said that they want to be industrial engineer or mechanical engineer, something like that, you know. And then most of the time, we as children, we always follow what our parents said. Then probably you end up here because your parents taught you to attend an engineering school instead of medical school. So just like me, actually, I really wanted to be a medical doctor. And then I really love biology and physics. And then I also attended many competitions related to biology and physics when I was in a high school. But my parents, because my brothers, they all went to ITB, and then my parents told me you need to get into ITB, any kind of major, as long as it's ITB. It's either you go to ITB or you don't go to college at all, something like that. So in the end, I was so like kind of like desperate, and then I went to fortune teller. And then I asked the fortune teller, what should I what should I take for my major? And then the fortune teller said, you take the IE, industrial engineering. At that time, I didn't really know what is IE. And then I tried to search for the information related to IE, and then I got the information that IE is uh, a really good one, and then it ranked like the third in the whole Indonesia. And then I was like, okay, that's cool. I will enter IE because yeah, just for the prestige or whatever. But I didn't really like to attend the IE in ITB at all. And then well, if you had the same experience like me, you wanted to be a medical doctor, but you end up here in SU so that you didn't attend a medical school for sure. Do not give up your dream completely because you could still pretend as if you're a medical doctor in IE. So you still can learn medical related things, although you are engineering students, especially if physics is your favorite course, and then biology is your favorite course, programming is your favorite course, statistics is your favorite course, and this is a bonus, but if you are not good in design, you are still able to get into this ergonomics. But if you are creative and then you are good in using design software, then it's really good because human factors and ergonomics will help you fulfill your dream to be a medical doctor, although just pretending as if you are a medical doctor anyway. And then it happened to me because human factors and ergonomics brought me to the best medical school on earth. And then although it was just a short time, and then what is it? But I had a chance to study and then work as if I was a medical school student. And what is human factors and ergonomics actually? So if you are an IE student, probably you heard someone named Frederick Taylor or Frank and Lillian Gilbreth. They were the founders of industrial engineering with the motion study and then work time study, something like that. But it was the origin. Now, human factors and ergonomics is far more developed than the origins. So it's more into the multidisciplinary study. So if you are taking the human factors and ergonomics, then your research will be very broad. So you could be as if you are a biomedical engineering student, and then you could also do the research like what the electronics engineering or computer science students do, and then psychology students do, and then or even the design students do. So although it was the origins of IE, it has moved towards the multidisciplinary study. And then if you paid attention, if you have a friend or some friends in other university that are taking the industrial engineering, you probably noticed that they got the ergonomics courses in like the second, third, or the fourth semester, because it is the origins of IE though, but because we are following the UA curriculum, so we didn't give the students in the early semesters. That's why most of you do not even know about me, right? And then because I only teach the senior students, and even if you probably you are not really good in physics and biology, you can still do the human factors and ergonomic research that is related to computer science or design. But of course, in here, you cannot pretend to be a medical doctor, of course. And let's do the lab. So we have treadmill, we have bicycle, we have MGC diagnostic, we have force platform, we have electrocardiogram, and the newest one is the human exoskeleton, and then literally many more. A lot of things in that lab, but probably if you probably if you saw the lab at first, it would look like a fitness center, but it's not really a fitness center at all. So the reasons why this treadmill and bicycle are in the lab is because we have this MGC diagnostic. So this device, it could, what is it? It could measure your lung capacity, so it could detect the volume of the oxygen in your lungs, and then it could also detect the carbon dioxide that you exhale. And usually we use this to take a look at the what is it? The worker fatigue or the energy expenditure of the athlete. You know, if you ever heard something like calories burned, so calories burn is equal to energy expenditure. So we could use this device to measure the calories burned. So basically, at first, the participant will be asked to use this device first, and then we will ask the participant to probably running or doing something with the bicycle, and then after that, we measure again the capacity of the lung, the volume of the oxygen, and then how much of the carbon dioxide was exhaled, something like that. And then this one is the fourth platform. So if you are really love physics, then you will love this device because it's all related to the Newton's law, the third Newton's law, if you remember the action, reaction, the ground reaction forces. So in here, this is the device. With this device, you could measure whether you are stable or unstable. So how stable is your postural stability? And then we could also measure the condition of an athlete, whether the athlete is still injured or the athlete is not injured again. So it's already recovered, something like that. And in here, the output of this first platform is CLP data. It's center of pressure data. And then we got the data in signal data in X, Y, and Z. And then from that, we could analyze whether you have a good balance or a bad balance. And then it's also an indicator of what is it? Some other diseases like diabetes, and then probably gout, you know, gout, asam urat, and then other things. And in here, if you pay attention to your feet, you can take a look at your feet now. If your feet is flat or your feet has a very high arch, then most likely you don't have a good balance. So if you walk or if you stand too long, then you will hurt your feet. And then it could be detected too in this fourth platform, whether your feet is normal with the normal arch or your feet has too high arch. So if you have that flat feet or too high arch feet, it's better for you to use some kind of like insole inside of your shoes so that it could reduce your pain. All right, and then this is the newest device that we have. So probably you've seen this guy in the previous talk from Miss Jen. And then in here, this is the human exoskeleton. Okay, so this human exoskeleton is to help the worker, especially the blue collar worker in the manual material handling activities, so that they will not get easily injured, and then they will not get the musculoskeletal disorder. I think in the Indonesian version is encok. So the what is it? The workers will be in a good posture when he or she is doing the activity in manual material handling. You know, like abang-abang JNT. So they are forced to live and then put the big boxes like that, and this human exoskeleton could really help them to maintain their posture in a good way. All right, so I think that is my talk. If you have any question, feel free to ask. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Miss. So I will just read the question. Yeah. First, for Miss Jane first, I think. From Rosic. I want to ask, when we use the Lego, do we need to have permission first or we can go there directly, Miss? And do we need to have a purpose if we want to use the Lego or we can just use for play? Thank you, Miss. Yeah, you can answer it.
Okay, thank you for the questions, Rosic. So all you have to do if you want to enter the room is just bring us 4 cups of Starbucks. No, I'm kidding. Well, at the moment there is no like very specific some kind of bureaucracy to use the lab, but yes, you have to have permission because the lab is always locked, and even me, like I don't have the key. I have to ask for the specific security. I think it apply the same procedure for the ergonomics because the labs are connected. But the thing is, you can't go alone. You have to be accompanied with one of us, but it doesn't have to be me or Bu Uchi. You can ask one of the squads as well, either Tessa, Angeline, or Hirzi, because if you just entering the lab, you have no idea like where you have to do because you don't know like the location of the Legos. If you want to build something, you don't know what kind of Legos that you need to assemble for. So that's why you need to be accompanied with any of us. And most of that because we have to be aware that there is no any piece of Lego that sprayed somewhere on the floor or not in the proper locations because like us, especially for Tessa, like she always like count of every single pieces, that thousands pieces manually. So if you place it in the wrong place, it will be problem with us. So you can ask any one of them, and not only me but also my squad. They're really good in the lab also. For example, like Angeline, like she has like really good memorizing the every single piece of Lego, like even half of the total. So for example, if you ask Angeline like, what is the piece of Lego with part number 30221? And then she can explain to you like, oh, that's a piece of Lego. The color is white. It has 4 dots and the shape is square. And also, for example, like Tessa, yes, as I mentioned before, only she and God
Only God and
knows the
Tessa.
location of the location of the Lego. And also Hirzi, the guy that who also worked for ergonomics lab with Punuro, he can explain to you like how to divide the job or the task for each workstations, and also like how to ordering the process and how to avoid the delay in production. So just call one of us to be with you in the lab. But yes, it doesn't have to be you have a specific research. You just can go with your things and stuff and playing with the Lego. You're so
And
welcome.
Starbucks.
And Starbucks for sure.
Okay, thank you, Miss Jane. Next question is, what are the plans for future of the supply chain lab? And what other facility could we expect from this lab? I think it's already mentioned, but yeah,
Yes.
please
Mhm.
answer it.
Well, thank you, Russell, for the questions. Yes, as I mentioned before in my previous presentation, at the moment we don't have like a lot of technology that applied in the lab because we just established like a few months ago. But if you're asking for the plan for the future, and so that's I have explained as well. Like we're trying to collaborate with any other department at FET, for example, and also to provide with some facilities, like example with ME department, because Pabudi, one of his students, I think they're designing some belt conveyor or something like that, and we don't have conveyor at the moment in the lab, and we're trying to mimic like the production line as similar as possible. So that's one of the facility that we're trying to develop on. And also like robot that I mentioned that Fikri is also currently working with. The system of the inventory flow that I just have discussed with Pawandi a few days ago, and so other things. I mean, like for at the moment there we don't have a lot of facilities because yes, as I told you, it's impossible to do it online. So let's just hope that the condition will be better, and after that, once we go back to the university, we can develop more facilities for sure.
Amen. Thank you, Miss Jane. I think the last question will be from Ade Rahmat. Hi, Miss Jane. Is there any tools to help the penjaga warung to do his job since the Lego pieces are too small and it will give it difficult for him?
Okay, so for penjaga warung, I don't want to call her as penjaga warung, to be honest. Let's say there's the warehouse manager. From their last project, because we just start, yes, there is a tool for sure, but that's very conventional, to be honest. We just like create some lists like based on a paper, and Tessa, like, she designed the tools even though it's manually, like still on paper based system, but like she lists all the parts, like 100 something type of parts, and also the location. And after that she create the list, so the person that works for the workstations, if they need some parts for their work, they just can order with the form, and then submit it to warehouse session, and then after that we can collect as well. But yeah, there is no any like very advanced tool. We do it like in a very traditional way by using board, and also set the deadline. And the previous project we tried to develop the thing that also implement by Amazon, like um making the system like same day delivery or next day delivery. So for example, if you order the parts before 9 a.m., we can deliver to you at the same day, let's say at 10 a.m. But if you order it or you submit your form to warehouse station after 9 a.m., we will deliver on the next day or on the next week, for example. So, but yeah, we're thinking about developing the tools as well.
Okay, thank you, Miss Jane, and I hope it answer all of you guys' question. So next, let's just move to the Miss Nurul. First, we have, wait, let me see. From Zikin. I want to ask about ergonomics lab. Can we do a lot of experiment there, searching forks or rats and other things, Miss? Thank you.
No, no, you cannot do something like that. You are supposed to ask Sir Iwan for the biology lab, I think, because in ergonomics lab it's all related to humans. Okay, so no animals are harmed in ergonomics lab. Okay, only you could be harmed in
Yeah.
ergonomics lab.
So
Correct.
so we just searching people, eh? No
Yeah.
animal but people.
Yeah.
Okay. The next is does ergonomics lab encompass cognitive ergonomics?
To be honest, it was someone else. I think the lecturer from LSC who bought the equipment, the devices in the ergonomics lab, and the lab is more into the what is it, biomechanics compared to to the cognitive ergonomics. But we have something like very traditional things like the the color blind test, and then the what is it, the uh it's really a simple thing for the cognitive ergonomics. So we don't have any EEG, we don't have the encephalogram, so we don't have it. And then yeah, we only have that blind test in the ergonomic lab. So it was someone else who bought the devices, and fortunately my expertise is in biomechanics, so yeah, I could use the lab completely. So
Okay,
no,
thank you.
not really that cognitive.
Hope
We
it
don't have the EEG.
answer, yeah. So next is from Nisa, Miss. I don't know if this question still related with ergonomics. I want to ask to Miss Nurul. When we are coming to the ergonomics lab, can we get a diagnostic test so that we can optimize our ability to study or do another activity? Thank you.
You mean the one that can measure the oxygen, the your
Uh,
lung capacity? What do you mean about the diagnostic test?
I think like medical checkup, isn't it, Nisa?
Oh no, we
Like
don't
medical
have it.
checkup.
I couldn't take your blood. I'm not a vampire. Okay, so you go to probably Parahita or Prodia if you want to do the diagnostic test. No, we don't have it. So
Okay.
yeah, it's really closely related to medical major, but ergonomics is like kind of like, what is it, the twins of biomedical engineering. If you know, there is a major biomedical engineering. Some universities have it as the specialization for electronics engineering. Some other university like I think I3L, E3L, has that biomedical engineering major. And ergonomics is really closely related to biomedical engineering, but it's not the medicine. Okay, it's not the medical school.
Okay. I think should I read all the question or choose here? Wait, let me choose the interesting one, Miss. From Bella Widiwati. Okay, sorry. Thank you for presentation, Miss Nurul and Miss Jane. I would like to ask something. Is there any upcoming project related to the lab we can join, the student can join?
I think for me, if you want to do the biomechanics related thing, then you need to have a strong programming skill. Otherwise, you will be confused. And then you also need to have a very strong physics and biology background. But if you don't have those backgrounds, those strong programming and then physics and biology, then you need to know how to use design software. But it's the basic one. So it's like the how to design product. I don't really do that, but I have a lot of students under my supervision do the ergonomic design. But myself, I don't really do that. I do the biomechanics.
Mungkin, maybe Miss Jane could answer it also. Sorry.
Thank you,
Oh,
Billy. Well, I don't have the upcoming project like really related to the lab at the moment because, well, as you know, as I mentioned, like several times, it's really hard to have and conduct it online. So, and also other things because I'm now focusing with my students who doing their final year project, and most of them, the topic is more about risk management, so not really related with production and supply chain. But if you want to join in a project, well, probably if you're an IE or you have an idea, so well, that's okay, you can deliver to me. Or if it's not, if you're not an IE student, you can ask like the lecturer from your department whether they have idea to collab with IE, for example, like Pak Fikri with the robots, or Pawandi with the software system for the inventory management. And yes, so I'm still waiting for the chance to go back to the university to do some projects. But the thing that I'm thinking of right now is to design the module and the other tasks, so the students that currently in the fifth semester at the moment, because they're going to have production and so production system and analysis course next semester in spring, so they can use the lab like during the semester with some kind of modules and tasks, like try to be or try to get some role play like working in the factory, something like that.
Okay, thank you, Miss. So we have another question. Where the location of ergonomic lab and supply chain lab?
Next
It's a
to
chamber
the
of secret. You have to know the password to enter the room.
next to the
uh,
pool.
yeah, next to the pool, that's the clue.
Next to the pool.
Well, actually that's located in LG and next to the ME lab, the one that really on the corner, the very last one. If you're familiar with Habibi room,
So
yeah,
Habibi room now become
yeah, say
ergonomic.
bye bye to the classroom because now there's a
Ah,
play lane to work with Lego and also ergonomics
yeah.
lab, our hidden gym, private gym. It's over there.
I see. That's why I see a lot of treadmill there
Yes, exactly.
before
There
we
it is.
come. So yeah, it's okay since Habibi class have many mosquitoes. Yeah, I don't like Habibi
No, it's
class
very
too.
clean now. You don't have to worry about the mosquitoes.
Yeah. So next will be, oh, Nisa do clarification here. Thank you, Miss. It is kind of interesting when seeing you explaining about ergonomics. I thought the tests such as measuring the balance of our body and the other can measure our capability to doing several things. Thank you for the information. So yeah, thank you, Nisa Horia.
Define several things. What is several things? Define that. What is that? But basically, the lab is equipped with the devices to measure your physiological condition. So we don't have the things to measure your psychological condition. But when I did my research in other universities, if we have the EEG, we could see the part of our brain, and then when we are something like we are sad, which part of the brain is what is it, light, brighter than the other part. And then when we are sleepy, which part of the brain is activated when we are angry or something like that. We could do something like that if we have the EEG, but we don't have the EEG. So what we have is all related to postural stability in our current lab now, because yeah, those are the things that the owner of the school bought. So
Okay.
there is no other thing. You don't you can only measure your balance. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, maybe it will be end of our Q&A session for industrial engineering. If you still have a question and I didn't mention your question, you can ask directly to Miss Nurul or Miss Jane. Yeah, you can contact them with email, of course, not WhatsApp. Okay, next, let's move into mechanical engineering. Thank you, Miss Jane. Thank you, Miss Nurul.
Thank you so much.
So before we next into the MA lab, let we check our spirit first, yeah. So we just do the, what is it called? Wait, I forgot the name. Wait. Our tagline. Yeah, that's it. Our tagline. So let me check our tagline first. You can open your microphone now. So you still remember, right? When I say lab talks, you answer experience laboratory for great technology. Okay. So lab talks.
Experience
laboratory
for technology.
One more, please.
Okay.
Lab talks.
experience laboratory
Through great
Great
technology.
technology. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Oh, guys, don't forget to open your camera so the speaker know you're there, not leaving them. So let we just next into our next lab presentation. It will from mechanical engineering. For mechanical engineering team, we'll have Mr. Farid, Mr. Aditya Harjon, and Mr. Budi. I will give the control to Mr. Farid right now. For Mr. Farid, time is yours.
Okay, check. Good morning, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes.
So I hope everybody are doing well. Hello, Pak Adit. Good morning.
Hello, morning, Pak Farid.
Pak Budi, are you there? Hi, Pak Budi. Good morning.
Morning, Pak.
Okay. Oh, sorry. Let me close my door. Yeah. First of all, thank you very much for the committee who are arranging this very excellent activity, excellent event. We actually really wish to meet all of you face to face, but this is the best we can do in the middle of pandemic. I really appreciate everyone, especially the committee who are doing this effort. So make a big applause for the committee. Okay, so in this occasion, let me introduce myself. I am Pak Farid Triawan. You can call me Pak Farid or Sir Farid, or sometimes people call me Farid Sensei because I came from I stayed long in Japan. Here in Sampurna University, I am the head of mechanical engineering, the ketua program studi, ya, Kaprodi. Okay, so under mechanical engineering, we have 5 lecturers. Okay, let me share first, yeah, before we go to the presentation. Okay, we have 5 lecturers. First one is, yeah, this is me. I'm Pak Farid, and then we have Pak Budi. Okay, Pak Budi spent a long time in Texas, Austin, University of Texas, and then worked there, and then come back to Indonesia working in industry, and now joining in the academics life again. And then we have Pak Iwan as well. Even though Pak Iwan is mostly handling the science courses, but is actually also specific. His specialty is in material science, so he is also helping, so supervising some ME students. We have Pak Adit. Yeah, Pak Adit is now the head of mechanical and integrated manufacturing lab. Yeah, the lab is in the LG. Yeah, so if you go down there near the swimming pool, there is the territory of Pak Adit. So Pak Adit, under Pak Adit, we have let me see. Yeah, so we have Pak Indra and Pak Ifat. Yeah, Pak Indra and Pak Ifat, they are both coming from Sulawesi, from Palu. Yeah, but they are very skillful, and we are actually really relying on him on maintaining our lab. Yeah, other lecturers from ME is Pak Kus. Yeah, Pak Kus, he spent a long time in Malaysia and Singapore. Yeah, for having his PhD as well as a lecturer there. And last but not least, Pak Jati. Yeah, Pak Jati also spent long time in Singapore. He's now having more activity in the IoT lab. Okay. Under mechanical engineering, so my students who are in mechanical engineering, we have I think many practicums, yeah, many courses related to lab. For example, in the let me make this one bigger. So this is your degree path. Okay, the green one is we call the critical path. You don't want to miss one of these courses, because once you fail to pass this course, it means that you will need to be extended minimum one semester on even 1 year. So trying to make sure that you should pass the class with the green box with one shot. Okay, so here in the first year, you see that still you are studying mostly on the STEM, science, mathematics, and chemistry. Okay, but then from the second semester, in the second semester, for example, in the third year, in the third year, in the third semester, we have engineering graphic. Yeah, this engineering graphic will require you to go to the computer lab and using our software there, the SolidWorks. Yeah, now currently Pak Adit is teaching engineering graphics. Okay, and for the fourth semester, we have electrical circuits and as well as manufacturing process for ME. We call it machine shop for mechanical engineering. In the machine shop, the lab is in the integrated manufacturing lab. Pak Adit will soon explain it. The electrical circuit, usually Pak Fikri or Pak Budi who are teaching. Yeah, this is plus lab, so sometimes you need to go to the lab to do something, to do some hands-on experience with something to do with the electrical circuits. In the fifth semester, again, you will need to attend some practicum class. Here you will see mechanics of materials lab. Yeah, currently Pak Adit is also teaching this with the help of Pak Indra. You will do some tensile tests, impact tests, hardness tests, material testing. So all of those testing, mechanical testing, you will do it in the fifth semester. Okay, and then in the sixth semester, you will see another lab, mechatronics. Yeah, mechatronics in lab. So maybe some of you have attended. This is the class handled by Pak Budi. Yeah, we have a specific lab called mechatronics lab. Pak Budi will soon explain about our mechatronics lab. We have also instrumentation lab. This is under Pak Jati. Yeah, in this lab you will learn how to measure several physical parameters like pressure, temperature, other like resistance. Okay, so vibration. Yeah, you will learn how to measure. Okay, in this lab. Other than that, let me see. Okay, in the seventh semester, you will see we have senior mechanical lab. Senior mechanical lab, as the name as it is, you will learn much a bit advanced level of mechanical phenomena. Okay, this is currently under Pak Jati, previously also taught by Pak Adit. Yeah, you will do this mechanical senior mechanical lab in the LG lab under Pak Adit and under Pak Indra and Pak Ifat. And finally, you can focus on your capstone. So you see, for mechanical engineering student, almost every semester, you have practicums, you have some courses done in the lab. Okay, so currently we have this nine laboratories facilities that can be accessed by mechanical engineering lab. Material science and engineering lab. This is for doing the material testing lab. Yeah, fluid mechanics. This is for senior mechanical lab. Instrumentation lab. Thermodynamics. This is related to the senior mechanical lab. Machine design lab for those who are doing capstone. Integrated manufacturing lab. This is from machine shop. Engineering drawing, drafting. This is in the computer lab. Mechatronics and control lab under Pak Budi. Internet of Things currently under Pak Fikri, but many ME students are also doing some robotic design in this laboratory. So ME, I think, has the most the most number of laboratories that you can utilize in Sampurna University, which I think you can be proud of. Not many in this country has this kind of facility. Even me envy this kind of facility. Even when I actually graduated from ITB, I don't have this luxury of lab. But unfortunately, because of the pandemic, the new students who are just joining Sampurna University this year cannot directly enjoy this facility. But soon enough, let's pray that pandemic will finish and we can come back to our campus normally, do some work there. I think Pak Adit will explain about this, about the mechanical engineering and integrated manufacturing lab. These are some design project. This is done also together in the lab. This is, for example, we made reverse vending machine. This is for plastic bottle recycling machine. This was developed under IoT lab. This is Pak Budi. I think Pak Budi will explain some toys, some robotics under mechatronics lab. This is Pak Iwan. Yeah, Pak Iwan working on the surface engineering. Yeah, making the surface not corrosive, and then as also good hydrophobic coating. Yeah, under Pak Adit also has a biofuel center. It is related to most or chemical, but also energy. Therefore, it is under mechanical engineering. Pak Adit and his team is also managing an urban vehicle project, making this kind of go-kart, yeah, for electric engine and combustion engine. Pak Adit will explain more. Pak Kus also generating many product design in the manufacturing lab. So this is Pak Jati. Pak Jati, his specialty is vehicle dynamics. So if you would like to study on how suspension working, vibration, how is the maneuverability of a car, Pak Jati is there for you. So I think these are the two sites, yeah, the two website you can check for further explanation or further information about the lab. But for the detailed explanation, first let me invite Pak Adit, yeah, Pak Adit to explain our mechanical and integrated manufacturing lab. Okay, Pak Adit, are you ready, Pak Adit?
Yes, Pak.
Okay, Pak Adit, please start, Pak Adit.
Okay, thank you so much, Pak Farid. All right, hello guys. Should I start, MC?
Yes, Pak. Please, Pak.
Okay, all right. Thank you. Okay. Okay, let me hold on a moment. All right. Alrighty. Hello, guys. Hello. Good morning, everyone. My name is Adit, and I'm one of mechanical engineering lectures, and also acting as the head of mechanical and integrated manufacturing labs. And welcome to our lab virtually. I think this is the best thing that we can do during these days. And I hope that you still enjoy the sessions that the FET-BEM has conducted this very exciting event today. Okay, let's get it started. So Pak Farid has already gave you like a glance, like how many subsections of labs that we have. And I'm going to show you the equipments, the engines, the machines that we have at each of the lab. So I'm going to show you also later, giving you a virtual tour after this. But I want you to make sure that I'm going to show you each of the equipments over here. And also the reason why we cluster or we group the lab into several groups is because we in engineering, under mechanical engineering, we actually have several focus of field. So we're not exactly dealing with machines only, since we, even though the name is mechanical engineering, but we also deal with a lot of stuff as well, including energy later on that we're going to see. So for the first one, we call Lab A, Material Science Engineering Lab. This is where this is the place where we test a lot of material properties. And these are some of the equipments that we have. So what you're looking at right now, I'm not sure if we can see my cursor. Is it visible,
Yes,
my cursor?
we can see, Pak Adit.
All right, thank you. So in here we have several testing apparatuses. So in here, this is the impact test, apparatus test, and this is a grinding apparatus. And the middle over here, there's a furnace. This is just like basic in oven. And the right one is a hardness tester. And here we also have microscope. We have also another grinder, and this is universal tensile compression test. So essentially in this lab, we can perform several testings on the materials. For example, whether it's going to be aluminum, for example, or iron, or even plastics, in a way that we can determine the characteristics of the materials, which later on you're going to select basically, because you want to use the materials for certain applications. For example, you don't want to use a very, very soft plastics as your chair, for example, because you cannot withstand high stress from your weight, for example. You see, so depending on the future applications, this is where you test it. Next, we have Lab B, which is fluid and heat transfer. So in here we have apparatuses or equipments where we're going to learn the theory. We're going to see the phenomena from what we study in the theories. So in here we have this is what we call fluid circuits. Here we can analyze about the pressure head loss over here, and below here on the left bottom we have our beloved wind tunnel. So this is actually one of the piece of equipment that we all always giving a praise of, because we actually quite proud to have this wind tunnel. This is I would say, if I'm not mistaken, this is the biggest that we have in Southeast Asia. So we actually quite a proud owner of this. And on the right is we call fluid mechatronics. This can allow you to design such fluid circuits or fluid designs into a certain complexity. On the right we have valve tester. Basically, we can test the characteristics of different valves, again according to the functions and purpose of your applications later on. And the left is heat exchanger, shell and tube, to learn about the phenomena in heat transfer between two fluids. Now, moving on to Lab C, this is where we can learn about how to measure based on the devices, the essential measurements. For example, for the first one, the top left is a pressure measurement. This is the beam deflection, in which that we are going to measure the deflection of the beam according to the pressure that we impose. It's very simple, but this actually explains quite fundamental in mechanics deformations. On the right one, this is the about flow. Same thing about this is about flow rate measurement on the top right. The bottom left is about pressure transducers. Here we have the digital transducers shown as the digital displays over here. We can also measure the pressure using the classic liquid manometer over here. So we learn how to measure pressures in different methods, different approaches. The bottom right is the temperature measurement. So we have the normal one, which is the thermometer. And also we have the thermocouple, which can be plugged over here later on. And also we have all the digital thermometer over here. Lab D is about thermodynamics and energy conservation. So this is pretty much what my expertise is. In here on the top left, this is the air conditioner demonstrator. So this is with this we can you can say we can design the conditions of your air conditioning systems in the way that to cater the needs. For example, do you need your the room to be more humid or more dry, or you need to be in higher temperature or lower temperature? You can design it over here. On the bottom left, this is the engine bed. This is where we learn how the principle about a braking system and also the general energy performance in an engine due to the combustions. In the right, this is what we have is refrigerator systems. Inside this box is actually a coil, a cooling coil. Is quite a huge one, in which that it can actually cools down and freezes the water inside. So in here we learn about the basics, the fundamentals of refrigeration cycles. That's also one field of engineering, mechanical engineering. Now these two are I would say the badass one. The left one is our mini jet or turbo engine. So this is actually a miniature of an actual aircraft engine. So if you remember, if when you take off using the plane, you probably notice the engine, and then you probably notice also the sound, the noise that goes wing, So this is also reflected in the in this engine as well, but it's just like a small scale of the actual engines. So in here we learn about combustion cycle. It's called Brayton cycle. You will learn that in thermodynamics. And on the right one is steam power plant in a small scale. Basically, we call it a steam generator. So you can imagine, all of the electricity that we use right now is actually coming from the power plant, and most of Indonesia's power plant is generated by in this system. And in here we can learn about the principles of Rankine cycle. That's what we call it. Again, you will learn it in thermodynamics, especially for ME students later on. Lab E, we have machine design lab. This is all the equipments that we use that we have in Lab E. It's basically to to learn how to design the machines and to learn about the gear. And since the left one is equipment on the CAD analysis apparatus, which you will learn in the machine design. And now lastly in Lab F, which is the integrated manufacturing lab, is where all the manufacturing processes machines are. So we pretty much have quite sophisticated machines that we have over here. For example, over here on the left part, top and bottom, they are CNC. So they are the kind of machines or the kind of equipment that the actual industries actually use currently. And we also have this very exciting virtual welding where you can learn how to weld, but virtually. It is very cool. And also the right one is one of our 3D machines. We have, I think, quite several. I think we have 4 or 5 right now. And then I just want to explain a little bit about projects that we have.
It already 10 minutes.
Okay, sorry.
Okay, yeah.
Let me wrap this up. So these are the projects we made. Face shields. We're also doing the SUV, so urban vehicle. And also these are some, if you like to use our lab, which later on, once we don't have the pandemic, you can book it from me using this link later on. Okay, and lastly, I just want to show you that you can go to here. How to do that is basically you go to Sampurna University website, and then you can actually access our lab virtually.
Are you sharing something, Pak Adit?
Oh, it's not shared.
Yeah, we are not seeing your PowerPoint slides only.
Oh, okay, sorry. Let me. Okay.
Pak Budi, get ready ya Pak Budi.
Okay, so in here from university, Sampurna University, you can go to this campus tour, and then this is what you will see. So you can play around to see our lab area. And yeah, so you can see like we group them into several groups. And I think that's it for my explanations. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Pak Adit. It was very exciting explanation. And we'll keep the question and answer after Pak Budi, yeah? Yep. Okay, Pak Budi, are you ready, Pak Budi?
Yes, I'm ready, Pak.
Yeah, you can start sharing your PowerPoint slide, Pak.
Okay. Good morning, almost afternoon, everyone. My name is Budi. You just can call me Pak Budi for short. Easy to remember. Okay. Let me start sharing my screen here. Okay. Share. Okay. Can you guys see my PowerPoint here?
Yes, we can see Pak Budi.
Let me play it there. All right. This is the mechatronics lab. The lab is not that big. It's just about 40 meters square feet, 40 meters square. And we have quite a simple facility and equipment. So this is just one room here, the mechatronics lab. So you can only see 2 big tables here. These are the stations here. All right, okay. And right now we have only 6 stations. You see here, just opposite here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And if you look at it from the other side, we have just another few here. Pardon me, we are still under what is that? Make arrangement of the equipment and also the tables there. Okay, so let's see one station here. One station, I think this is the most sophisticated one in the mechatronics lab. We have 4 equipment here in one station. One is the power supply. You see that the digits, it can have 2 significant figures after the point here, okay? We have a power supply, we have a function generator. Function generator is if you want to generate signals like sinusoid, square wave, sawtooth, or anything else. Okay. Another one here is the digital multimeter. Multimeter can measure voltage, current, resistance that you mostly learn in that electrical circuit class. The last one here is the oscilloscope. Oscilloscope is to measure what is the output. Usually if it's something you want to measure, let's say for something voltage measure in time. If you put the signal input and then what is the output. So usually we use the oscilloscope. So this is the one that you are going to play for the next semester here. I think this is going to work in the next semester. Another equipment here, we have a new 3D printer. So you can build for the final project, you can build something. If you need to buy components, then you can use this 3D printer. We also have a CNC machine. This is what we get from the US aid here. Right now, the condition is not working, and then I'm trying to find a student to work on it to make it work. If you are interested and you can make it, you can contact me. Another thing here, we have many Legos here. You can build Lego, you can build car toys, then you can program it, right? So we have a sophisticated one until we have also the easy one here, handheld multimeter. Okay, in mechatronics, you don't have so much equipment, but you have lots of components here. For example, you have diode, capacitor, resistor, LEDs, batteries. These are just a few. There's so many things there. Mostly you are familiar with from the electrical circuit class or maybe from physics class. Another one here, we use microcontroller because today we are in the era of Industrial 4.0. If you don't know yet, you can search, Google it. So Industrial 4.0, mostly we do automation. So this is a very simple microcontroller. It's easy to use that we use in the class. And also we have the Arduino kits here. Arduino is the microcontroller. Actually, it's a company that makes the microcontroller that is easy to use. So we also have a kit. Inside the kit, you have so many things here. Okay, and also we are going to learn the stepper motor, servo, DC motor, micro DC motor, and you are going to learn that I combine this, how to, let's say you want to turn the DC motor at certain rotations, RPM, rotation per minute, angular velocity. Then you can combine it with the Arduino microcontroller. Okay, so this class, you combine microcontroller, you need to have a strong logical sense in coding, right? Similar to the one that you have in MATLAB. Okay, another thing here, we also have sensors, and then we are going to learn if you have the sensors, how can we get the output from that, right? If, for example, there is a temperature sensor here. What is the output of this? Actually, the output is in small voltage, and then you need to convert it into, let's say, the Celsius or Fahrenheit or Rankine or anything else. Okay, next here, these are some projects that we have done in the past. For example, here, multi-directional conveyor, hypercube, these two. This one, hypercube, is my teaching assistant, Robbie, is doing it. Robotic arms, candy sorting machine, temperature device, human following robot, ball balancing robot, line follower robot, and a lot of stuff here that you saw in the Pak Farid slide there. Many students were doing it. Okay, let me show you one by one of the projects, a few projects here. So this is the multi-directional conveyor. So this is my conveyor, and the interesting part of this conveyor that it is using what is called the omni wheel. So it can turn the object that you want to convey, right, without without very complicated steering of the wheel. So let's see, rather than I explain it, this is too much. I'm just going to show you the video here. So this is the prototype that we built. Right, so it's just running here. And then, okay, this is the one there. So you see here, we are using the Lego, and then this conveyor can turn. We have the color sensor to sense it where to turn.
If green, turn left itu ya Pak Budi?
Yes, Pak.
Interesting, Pak.
So it's not perfect, it is a prototype here.
Two minutes left, Pak Budi.
All right, Pak. You see the guys are so excited there. Okay, I'm sorry. Right? Okay. Another thing here is the 3D printer hypercube. Hypercube is just a square cube here. So let's see just. And then the student is learning how to make the move, and then what is the combination of the X and Y. Probably most of you already know what is a 3D printer. So we are building a huge one here, right?
This is handled by how many students, Pak Budi?
One student right now.
One student. One student can make one 3D printer, yeah?
Yes.
Very interesting, Pak.
So in mechatronics, you are going to learn how to code, use your logical. So you have to do a lot of thinking, and also you have to do hands-on skill and also debugging. Okay. I think I'm not going to show you that much. Okay, here are another project here. You have to see the hand robots and all those stuff. Okay, I think that's it from me, but in the future, I would like to, let me show you. I want to build something like this. If you are interested, right? This is a handheld robot arm, all right? This is one.
We don't see it is changing, Pak Budi. You're still showing the previous PowerPoint
Oh, really?
slide. Yeah, you may need to reshare.
Okay. I think my computer is freezing here. Let me, how to do this share? Stop share. Then let me share it again here. So maybe in the future, I would like to build something like this. If you are interested, then you can let me know. Right, so the one that is showing here is a drawing.
A robot that can draw, ya Pak?
Yeah, it can do a lot of stuff depending on how you set it. Okay, another one here is, you see the size of it is quite small, so you can do it by yourself. Another one is something like this. This is similar. It's a 6 degree of freedom robot. And the simple one here is the one. One of my students is building this robot right now. It has an arm. It has also the mechanism wheel. Mechanism wheel, you make a turn, but you don't turn the wheel. You turn the wheel using the combination of four wheels. All right, I think that's all from me. I'll give the time to Pak Farid back again. Pak. Thank you, Pak.
Thank you very much, Pak. Thank you very much, Pak Budi, Pak Adit. So in short, you see that we have many sophisticated, the Azan Masjid is then behind my house. under Pak Adit, you see a lot of mechanical or physical equipment, equipment for you to study the mechanical phenomena, physical phenomena. With Pak Budi, those who are passionate to build robotics, to learn about automation, you can. Unfortunately, we cannot talk with Pak Jati. Pak Jati is in IoT. Those who are currently, you need to also have the skill of IoT as a mechanical engineering. So we have all set. Yeah. So we are very excited to have you together, joining the lab and build something with your own hand. Okay. So if you have any question, please feel free. Pak Adit, we have one question there already in the chat box.
Yeah. So to answer that, yes, that is correct. That's a mini jet engine. So we actually did some testing on the engine last time, and we had to actually test it outside, not inside the building. I actually have a clip. Maybe I can show you just like a few seconds.
Yes, please, Pak Adit.
So, all right. Oh, sorry. So this is it.
Can we hear the voice, Pak Adit?
Sorry? Oh, it's not clear yet. Okay, let
sorry,
me.
sir, but for Q&A session, I think we still have one last lab. So after that, we will do the Q&A session.
Sure.
Okay.
I'm so sorry. Thank you for Mr. Farid,
No problem.
Mr.
No
Aditya
problem.
Harjon, Mr. Budi.
Yeah.
Next, we will go to the wet lab, which will be presented by Mr. Iwan. For Mr. Iwan, time is yours.
Okay, let me share screen, yeah. Is everybody can see this?
Yes, we can, Pak Iwan.
Okay.
Yes,
good.
sir Iwan.
Actually, since this is the last one, so I will be very quick. And since this is the lab for chemistry and biology, as most of you know, who already did chemistry course or biology course, the lab actually is for teaching purpose most of the time, yeah, for basic, very basic chemistry courses and one biology course. As you can see, I do not have the picture for each of the equipment, but let me just mention here, we have one equipment, is called spectrophotometry. If you're interested to measure, or you want to know the identity of a molecule, you may use the spectrophotometer. Another one actually is for research of surface chemistry, is called, I also don't have the picture, yeah. It's called contact angle instrument. All right. It is a simple instrument to measure how the surface is hydrophobic or hydrophilic. Okay, hydrophobic mean afraid of water. Hydrophilic mean like water. Okay. So aside of teaching or for the basic laboratory experiment, surface chemistry research we did in this lab. Another one is bioethanol research by Pak Adit, also performed in this lab. Okay. As you can see, since this is a chemistry lab, we have, of course, need some basic safety equipment here. So of course, we have the hood. Okay. We have several hoods over here, mainly used by students to run a simple solution reaction. Okay. So if you see on the table, students are making, this is titration. Okay. So you can do it outside the hood because nothing probably dangerous. But if you mix chemicals, yeah, strong chemicals or dangerous chemicals such as acid, strong basic, or chemical after a reaction that producing vapor, gas vapor. So you have to do it. You see in the far end there are 1, 2, 3, 4 hoods. So you have to run all of the reaction in the hoods. Of course, we have safety shower. Okay, nobody want to use the safety shower. If you use safety shower, meaning you have some dirty chemical get into your body. Okay, aside of this setup, you see cabinets. Those are where our glasswares. So in this picture, only glassware cabinet. Let me go to the other picture. Let's see. Oh, actually, on the safety shower side of this cabinet, we have a lot of chemicals. Okay, so the lab looks empty, but if you open the chemicals and you open one of the doors over here, there contains a lot of chemicals. Some of them are very dangerous. Okay, some of them are not dangerous. Some of them are corrosive, toxic, flammable. Okay, so they require safety precaution. Although this is teaching, mainly for teaching, we have used this lab for capstone project. Several of them already, I mean, the capstone project that did in this lab have the data being published. So we have very simple equipment, but we can produce data and do publication. Okay. Some students even from the publication they get admitted in university abroad. So if you're interested in surface chemistry or bioethanol, or maybe you come up with an idea that some type of chemical or material that require chemical reaction, then we may talk, and this is the place that you will most of the time work on your project. So let me go to the other slide. So that is similar. Yeah, all of this basically a teaching lab, and just also this lab is also used by biology courses. Okay, a very basic biology. We do not have a project for biology. Okay, so for biology, it is using this lab for purely teaching. Okay, I think that's all I have, Pak Farid, the committee. For the wet lab. Okay. Hello?
Hello, committee.
Yes, sir.
Pak Iwan has finished.
Okay, so next we will have a Q&A session, sir. So first question will be for, I think for Pak Farid, yeah. I want to ask, I heard that we have machine that could make revenue building shaking if we use it. Is it the mini jet engine, sir? Thank you.
Yeah, Pak Adit, please, you can show again the video.
Okay.
Indeed, it is shaking, and we have to be very careful.
All right. All right, so what's happening over here is that this is the mini jet engine. So this engine is what I'm doing over here is just I'm giving up a lot of pressure over there so that it can starts up the engine, the turbine to rotate fast, very fast. Therefore, you can hear the voice, the noise that goes, you know, very going all the way to up. But right here it stops immediately. So we have problem that the pressure that we provide is not enough. So that's why it can't withstand to be turned on automatically. But yeah, so because the engine produces such a loud noise and then vibrations, that's why we can't operate it modified building, and we had to take it out to test it. This is at the playground, you can see. So yeah, there you go.
Thank you, Pak Adit. So Pak Adit actually has done this the similar experiment in when he was in Melbourne, University of Melbourne, yeah, Pak Adit. So that's why Pak Adit is testing that 101 in mechanical engineering are familiar with the turbo engine, but Pak Adit. So if you would like to, if you are interested in aerospace engineering, combustion engine, Pak Adit is specialized in combustion engine, turbo engine, thermodynamics. So you can approach Pak Adit. The turbo engine that you just saw now has not been touched by anyone except Pak Adit. So it is waiting for somebody to work on it, take some data, learn about the phenomena, because we are not giving it in the class, only for those who are interested.
Yep.
Yeah, so you see, we have a lot of abundant equipments. Not even we don't have time to teach all of them, all of it in the class. So you need to really, you have to have that and that curiosity. Okay, approach us, ask whether you can learn from it or not. Okay, so one more question, Pak Adit, is about the second one, Pak Adit. If we want to use facility there to weld the iron, can we use it with permission, Pak? Okay.
Okay, that definitely yes, you can use it. But of course, before that, you need to send us the request form. And well, it also depends on the preset skills of welding that you have. Do you need assistance, or do you already master in welding? And yeah, well, essentially just talk to me so we can help you out.
Yeah, and what is important is safety, of course. So you will always need to have a supervisor. So you need to have a permission from Pak Adit, and Pak Adit will assign one of our lab engineers to help you. We don't want to make any fire there. So, but you are all welcome. And in fact, the welding machine has been utilized to create the frame, the body frame of the urban vehicle. Yeah, that Pak Adit just explained. So it is still also in the middle of the project. We would like to have two kind of vehicle. First is by combustion engine. The second one is by the electric engine. Yeah, Pak Adit.
Yep, correct, Pak.
Yeah, currently we are still trying to find a donor. So if one of you know any donor from automotive industry, yeah, Pak Adit, who can give us one engine or motor engine, or not maybe not a car engine. I think a motorcycle engine is enough, and also an electric motor. We are the students are. Pak Adit is actually just supervising several students from not only mechanical engineering, but also from industrial engineering, from PCB, who are passionate to automotive. So here, not only for those who mechanical engineering, but also for other students in FET, even in business. If you think if they want to use the project as their case study. Okay, is there any question? More question?
Yeah, if you have any question, you can just open your microphone, I think, to make it fast. Oh, we have from Zulkifli, sir. I have a question regarding to the video shown by Mr. Adit. Is the minijet will be learned in certain courses in university, sir?
Okay, so for that, I would say it is not under any syllabus to use that, well, yet, not under any syllabus yet to use that in the lab. However, I'm really open for you if you have any interest in that. I will allow you to operate that only if you are interested in doing some, probably as a capstone project or some research. Just talk to me and then I hook you up with the engine.
Okay, hope it answer. Next from Martin, I want to ask to Sir Iwan, since in wet lab there are a lot of dangerous solution and stuff. Were there any accident before, sir, and how to handle the accident?
Okay. So fortunately, up until now, we don't have, actually, I have not recalled any accident, or at least we don't have any serious accident, okay? Yes, we have a toxic chemical or corrosive chemical, dangerous chemical, but usually they are stored properly. So that's one thing. Another thing is when it reaches to students, okay, we have make a lot of dilution out of those concentrated chemicals. So by the time when you are doing the experiment, the concentration is a lot less. Okay, so it gets into your skin, it may get your skin irritated or a little burn over time. But what happens is, as soon as you get a spillage, usually we will direct you to rinse it with water. Okay, so when you rinse it enough time with water, most of the time you are okay with those very dilute solution. Okay, let's say if we have, yeah, if we have a serious accident, let's say you get cut, okay, or maybe your skin get burned, that beyond we cannot beyond simply just rinse it with water, maybe we have to take you to clinic, or maybe you get a toxic evaporate or toxic gas vapor. Maybe we have to take you to the clinic. Okay. But up until now, the module has been designed with a lot of safety precaution. So I cannot think of any lab that producing toxic vapor. Okay. And even without producing toxic vapor, anything that even diluted acid solution or dilute basic solution, we still ask the students to do the reaction or mix the solution in the hood. So most of the time we are very strict with the safety in the lab. So again, fortunately, we don't have any accident. The other thing that I forgot to mention earlier in the semester, it is very unfortunate for the incoming new students cannot be doing the lab, okay, doing the experiment in the lab. For me, I think general chemistry 1, general chemistry lab, general chemistry 2 labs are very fun to do and very exciting. And also a lot of you, for those of you who are very new, okay, without you realizing it, maybe you are doing a lot of mixing, a lot of actually similar with the lab experiment that without you are realizing it, okay, at home. For example, making simple saline solution with salt, okay, or maybe make acid solution, or certain mixture, or maybe you're going to dissolve something. So that's what we do also in the lab, okay? Simple thing, but it's fun. Is it enough to answer your question from Martin? You are in my
Is
lab,
it Martin?
Yes, it's clear, sir.
Okay.
I got a lot of information. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. I think it will be last question from Nisa Horia. During this pandemic era, all of the MS lab is being utilized for doing project or research, or it is not used, and how to keep productive for doing project or research even though we cannot work on hands in the experiments on lab. So I think Mr. Budi can answer it.
Yeah, Pak Budi can try to answer this. Pak Budi, you are muted, Pak.
Okay, for the mechatronics class, we send the kits to the students, and then they can do it. First, they have to build the virtual circuit first, and then they can try it using their send-it kit. Right? I can give you an example what one of my students did. So let me share the screen. So this is the video here. The video that one of my students did. So you see here there is a microcontroller, Arduino, and then connect it to the laptop. I think most of you have a laptop, and then you can build it by yourself here. You see here, this is the how to control just the very simple blinking LEDs here. I think that is one solution.
Yeah. So most of the research projects are now being done at home. So most of the students now who are doing capstone project, they got some funding from KJSB, from us, from the lecturers, yeah, in order to perform to do the research. For class, for a practicum class, for example, Pak Budi is even sending the tool, sending the equipment to your home directly. This is too luxury, I think, but that is what the university can do. Therefore, you can still learn similar to what you can experience in the campus, but of course not optimal. Yeah, the best to study is at lab, not at home. So we really expect next year we can be at normal again. For example, this is another example of what Pak Jati is doing in his senior mechanical lab. This is what is this equipment, Pak Farid? This is an equipment of heat transfer. This is pipe with this hair dryer sending a hot air. So they are measuring the conductivity, the conduction, the convection. We will learn. You will learn about this in heat transfer class or in thermodynamics. Yeah. So this is one example, and Pa Adit, yeah, Pa Adit also prepare a video. Pa Adit, can you share us a video of you, Pa Adit, testing mechanical testing?
Okay, so for this semester, for example, we have mechanics of materials lab, and our team, our ME lab team, we actually prepared the experiment video instead of the students who doing the experiments. We can't exactly send out kits like that because we need to use those testing machines, and those testing machines are usually very, very huge. So I'm just going to share you the link as well. So Pak Indra, one of my lab engineers, he actually has made a video. Let me just share you. Let me give it to this one, and also so far we have 2 experiments already conducted. We have the impact test and also the tensile test experiments. So yeah, maybe I can give you a little bit of a share screen just for a few seconds. Let me see.
Tensile test is one of the tests that help us evaluate materials' properties. By doing tensile tests, we can understand the material's behavior due to tensile force, and we also can observe the increment of the specimen length.
So in here, Indra also shows all the equipments, procedures, and at the end,
the area of the specimen manually. Then, we input the value in the assignment question number 1.
Because it requires certain extensive procedures, so that's why we can't exactly, have the luxury to send our testing kits to students. So this is our strategy now to cater the needs of students, especially in the this times around for the lab class. And at the end of the sessions of that video showing to students, we give the students the raw data in which that they need to process, and then they need to write a report out of it. So that's how they are assessed.
Thank you, Pak Adit. I think, the lab team has put a tremendous effort to make a video, almost professional video, I believe. So we are very fortunate to have a very cooperative team lab. So you should be also very excited to wait for your turn to work with them. Okay, so I think that's all from us from mechanical engineering.
Mechanical engineering. Okay, thank you, Mr. Farid, Mr. Adit, Mr. Budi, Mr. Iwan. Thank you so much for your time. Next, we will announce the quiz winner. So the winner is, I think we need drum roll. Oh, we don't have drum roll. So the winner is, please show on the screen the winner. The winner is Nuriska and Kirana ALMT. Yes, both of them answer it correctly and follow the rules and regulation to join the quiz. So please for @Nuriska MARDH and Kirana ALMT, you can chat the committee to claim your reward. Thank you. After this, we will go into our last session. But before that, please fill the survey from BPMSU. We will wait for 5 minutes. I think that's enough to fill the survey. Please fill it. Let me type the link for you. Yeah. We will wait 5 minutes until all of you fill the link, fill the form, fill the survey. Okay, while waiting, we will have our last agenda. We will have a photo session. So please turn on your camera and get ready because the committee will screenshot and share it later on. So please open your camera right now. I think the PubDoc can take a lead for photo session, please, PubDoc team.
Okay, so there are 4 pages, in the Zoom. So I'm not sure how to do this. Maybe we need to take the picture 4 times so everyone can get included. Is that okay?
Okay.
Yeah, it's okay.
Okay, so I'm gonna say 1, 2, 3, and then we're gonna take the picture 4 times. Okay, thank you, everyone. Okay. Okay, everyone ready? 1, 2, 3. One more time, yeah. Sorry. 1, 2, 3. Okay, second page, okay. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Third page. 1, 2, sorry. 1, 2, 3. Okay, thank you, everyone. Okay, last page, okay. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Okay, that's it. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you so much, Pabdo. I think, yes. Yes, Sir Iwan. You want to say
Thank
something?
you. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you so much. So I think it will be the end of our event today. I hope you guys got something from our today's event, and see you soon in our lovely campus, in our laboratory. Yeah, hope this pandemic will go away soon. Thank you so much, and see you on the next event. Thank you so much for the speaker, for the participant. Thank you.